Alright guys, Anthony Reserves. Mark's truck. Just got the cab halfway up, just partially up right now for because right now is when it's time to power wash everything, clean it all up, get it ready to go. This was studded. He wanted me to just kind of go through some stuff, and if I see anything that's, you know, whatever. Basically wants me to tattle. But I mean, I don't know, guys. I mean, just little stuff. I mean, come on now. Breaking shit, breaking stuff off. Oh, that was tough. I mean, first off, you know, don't use these junk bolts. And all the bolts were reused. And there's no exhaust manifold gaskets on it, so, you know, it is what it is. Just little stuff. I mean, there was all kinds of little crap that I didn't. There's just no heat shield at all. Physically, no heat shield on the engine. So that'll have to get changed. I already took the power steering pump and the AC compressor off. It did only have 0.77, 0.71. It had 0.71 recovered, so it was low. It was low on refrigerant. So this is I put a new sensor in it, and I put a pigtail on it. I knew I was coming back in, so I didn't worry about cleaning it up too much. I just wanted to get it done so I could drive it. I mean, there's just all kinds of crap. I mean, they shoved a cap in the middle of these two to keep them apart, and then just left the bolt out for the front rocker box fuel line. Just left it out. I mean, but whatever. I mean, you know, besides the fact that, I mean, at least it was together and they got it all in one piece, you know, so I wonder what head gaskets those are. I don't know. Have a good one. All right, guys, we had oh, the light's not on. Just had a truck get out of here. I don't know what else we got. You know, I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, I like I was telling Mark, you know, I mean, he probably whiz-wheeled the block, probably didn't do enough prep work. Maybe, who knows why head gaskets are blown or what they did. I mean, but I look at a lot of little stuff, you know. I mean, Ace Hardware store bolts and stuff on here. One top, one on the bottom. I mean, you know, at least they put the IPR wrap on it. See, they got that kind of wrapped around there. We got quite a bit of oil coming out of the turbo, which, blow by, but it's a low miles truck. That really sucks, doing stuff like that. That's hell on that VGT pigtail. Wrapping a zip tie around it. I mean, you know, who knows if it was broke before or if they broke it, I don't know. Who knows, you know, it's chicken or the egg type of thing. They could have at least put the Fickham harnesses on the valve covers, you know. Could have at least put them on. I don't know, wrong bolt on the back of the alternator. It's not an 11, it's 10. It's fucking, you know, I mean, there's a point where you can tell somebody just found bolts, you know, throw all the bolts in a pile when they really shouldn't have done that because they don't have enough experience to know where all the bolts go. So that's a freaking drag. But a bonus, they got the right side glow plug wires on it, but I also don't think they replaced the glow plug wires. From what I'm seeing, the exhaust manifolds probably didn't come off. A bunch of stuff probably didn't even come off the truck. You know, I mean, who knows? Probably. I mean, I've heard of people doing it before. They don't even take injectors out. Don't even take the freaking glow plugs out. Just lift the whole head off and go for it. That's holy crap. Which, whatever. But what else is there? Hang on. We are taking power steering, complete brake fluid flush. Them brakes, I don't know why there was brake fluid up under the hood, a bottle of brake fluid, but we need to, I don't know if there was a leak on it, but we're gonna need to flush the entire brake system out because the brakes were a little spongy. They weren't as good as they need to be. So we're gonna hopefully get, brakes are a little touchy at times to get them good. We're gonna have to spend a little time with that when the cab goes back down. But I also got all the power steering fluid out. We're gonna ultrasonic the bottle. It'll look get all that fluid clean, fresh fluid in it. We're gonna weld the downpipe because it was extremely low. Let me show you down here. Happens on almost all of them. Right there, it was leaking. Rubbing on the transmission cross member right there. Got a hole in it. So, I mean, that's pretty common, but what generally that comes from is not having the downpipe seated far enough down into it and lifting the exhaust up. The exhaust needs to be up here. And they just get it put in, and which, yeah, I'm not gonna leave it like that. We're gonna suck it way up and we're gonna weld it to do away with that clamp right there. Because that clamp does nothing but rub on stuff. So we eliminate that. I mean, whatever, we'll see. Oh, this also, I'm willing to bet money. Now we're gonna test it when we get down to the points, but I would bet money that this has a cracked head. Fuel in the coolant. Now you can't smell over a video. I know. But I would bet money that this has fuel in the coolant. We're gonna get it broke down. I'm gonna go ahead and get it clean. Do a little paint on it. Let it sit all weekend. Monday we'll get in here and we'll test it. Because my money is on at least one of these heads are trash. Gone. I know they make kits for it. I know Accurate Diesel and Bulletproof Diesel, they all have kits for it. The end all fix is to replace the head. Then you don't have to worry about having different injectors and being on the road, need an injector and whatever, and somebody having to take it apart. And yeah. What else was there? Who knows? Anyway. Another thing I would really, I mean, battery cables are chewed to hell. They're all corroded. We can clean them. They're not actually broken or damaged, but I mean, it's like 130 bucks or something like that. I mean, if it was my truck, I would go ahead and, I mean, they're not too bad. The little cover on this side's gone, but I don't know. You know, I like things to be better than they were when we got them. So things like that, when it's all corroded and nasty, we've already got the batteries all cleaned up, but it's, you know, I would, if it was my truck, I'd be putting a new battery cable on it, just because, I mean, hell, I mean, it's gonna come off the truck. So, but that's just, I don't know, whatever, that's what I would do. What else we got? I don't really know. I mean, I'll maybe make another video here in a little bit. I'll get it, we're gonna get it cleaned up. I'm getting everything taken apart so that I can power wash what I want to power wash. Get it at least tidied up. But we need to look down here. Let's see what we got for oil leaks. Looks like, now that's what one guy, I had one comment on one video when I said I put sealant around the dipstick tube. I put sealant around it, just a little bit, not a lot. I put it around the O-ring, put it in, and then wipe it smooth around it, because it eliminates crap like that. That right there is what, I mean, that could be a combination of bed plate and leaking dipstick tube. Yeah, I don't like that. That's not, yeah, if we can not have that looking like that, that's what I'll do. And if it takes a little, I mean, I'm talking like a little dab, a pencil eraser cap size, you know, just a little bit, just not a whole lot. We ain't gotta get all stupid with it. Completely leaking it from the valve covers. Valve covers got lots of rust on them. Leaking like a mother from the valve covers. So that's leaking. The frame's kind of, I mean, it's got a bunch of rust on it. Underneath the cab is pretty freaking rusted. There's quite a bit, but I mean, we're not, this ain't no body shop, so we're not gonna get all stupid with, you know, prep and all kinds of crap. No, we don't do all that. We build engines here. But the least we can do is put a little bit on it so that it, I mean, the rust is gonna come right back through the paint after a while, but at least we can prolong the life a little bit, throw as much as we can. I mean, the spring pockets are cracked as hell. I mean, that's pretty bad. There we go. I'll cake a whole bunch of paint on there. We use that oil base on there. Just a freaking bunch of it. Cake it on. It'll take 6 months to dry. Well, not quite to dry, more to cure. Carrier bearing's got some cracks in it. A little bit of cracking, a little bit of old. Looking at the U-joints, I always go through and we'll look at that stuff. Just, yeah. I mean, now's the time we actually look at the entire truck and look at everything. Try to not overlook anything. We'll clean off the top of the transmission. You can tell the vent's been releasing a little bit. I mean, it's not a high miles truck. It's a 130,000 mile truck. Granted, it pulls most of its life. Yeah, we got all kinds of bolts laying down there and stuff. See all the bolts. Turbo pedestal. Check it out. Oh, wow, look. Look at the pedestal. The bolts are above it. The whole thing moves. You can't see it on video, but there's no bolts in the pedestal. It's just sitting down there. It's actually up high. Wonder how the Y pipe went on with it up high like that. It does kind of look like the flex joint is stretched, because this is pretty much a fixed point, and that should be a fixed point. Well, if we got bolts underneath the pedestal like that, the turbo is up higher, so it makes this flex joint stretch. So, yeah. Jesus. Didn't put the heat shield on. I mean, it was cab off. Come on, put the heat shield on. I mean, look, because, I mean, you know, IPR wire, we really like it that close to exhaust. I mean, that's nice. I mean, it has that wrap on it, but that wrap is, you know, supposed to be used with another heat shield around the exhaust. So, I mean, that's all right. We get a lot of them heat shields. Actually, we sell a bunch of them, because our Y pipe, we have to adapt the heat shield a little bit. There's one. We have to adapt the heat shield to clear, because our flex joints are bigger. The vibrant flex joints are bigger than the stock ones. So, but we'll take the fuel pump apart, take that off, do everything we do. Right now, it's time to go ahead and break a down just a little bit more, not a whole lot, and then clean it up. Wow, that sounds great. It's got one injector out over there. Variant's getting knocked out. All right, well, I don't know. I think I picked on it enough. Have I? Hope so. I guess we'll find out what we see when we take the heads off, because that'll be a real, I mean, that's going to make or break. I mean, if they whiz wheeled this block, and I mean, we're going to have to clean the block as much as we can. Let's just hope that block's not destroyed, because if they whiz wheeled it and made it so that I have to surface it to fix what was done to it, if I have to surface that block, I mean, it's gone. It's engine out, bare block. Put it in the cabinet, clean it, surface it. If we go through all that, we might as well punch it out. That's rebuild time. Let's hope not. We'll see. We'll see how well we can clean it up. I mean, yeah, we'll see. I mean, there have been a couple of things that there's actually been like 30 things that I've seen. I mean, little stuff like this. See, all those are in there. Now, if somebody want to say that I forgot to pull those out, they can kiss on something, because, yeah, freaking right. Well, you can see how dirty it is inside of it. See how dirty it is in between the tears? Yeah, that is from them not, honestly, I mean, just not paying attention to what they're doing. And they raised the freaking cab and they didn't pull those push pins out. I mean, you know, there's a routine to get the cab off of here, and if you follow that same routine every single time, you will not, you won't have any surprises. That right there was a surprise. That was, it was like, oh, who gives a shit? Who cares? It's just a piece of rubber. Who cares? Well, I mean, I care. I'd buy him a new one. I mean, hell. Oh, well. Hopefully we don't need an engine harness. I mean, I already had to fix the VGT pigtail. That already had a pigtail on it. But some of that could be from head gasket failure and coolant leaking down on it. Coolant leaking on the EBP sensor. The VGT pigtails broke. You know, there's only so many pigtails we're going to stand to put on an engine harness before we decide, you know what, whole engine harness. Because, yeah, but we're not there yet. I'm not there yet. We'll just, I definitely got my eyes open while we're tearing this thing apart, so have to look at the coolant pump. Well, he's going to need a coolant pump. Like I said, I'm betting, oh, there you go. I'm betting that this has a cracked head. I mean, I would almost be willing to bet right now double or nothing on the whole job. You know, there's got to be a win for me if I gamble on a job. I'd say double or nothing on the entire job that this has a cracked head. Either I'll fix the head, we'll fix everything, we'll put it all back together for free, or we'll put it all back together for double. Who wants to gamble? Oh, no. I don't know. That sucks though, because I bet you there is. I bet there's a cracked head. We'll show it. I'll go through and I'll make another video when that's time. We'll get the injectors out and a lot of stuff taken apart. We'll do that. So, all right, guys. Long enough video. Have a good day.